I'm all in. Once or twice? That's fine. Alrighty guys, if you've seen the last video, you already know. Still the same weekend out in Vegas. We're just at a new location. If you haven't seen it, then stop what you're doing right now. Watch that one first, then come back. But for those who've already done that, we're now at the Venetian. It's another spot where we haven't played at in a while, probably since earlier this year to be honest, so a fresh start so to speak. And this night, it takes a while to get called for a seat, but a brand new 3-5 game opens up. And we gladly try to be one of the first ones there to make sure and get an end seat. The max here is $1,200, so that's what we sit down with. And sadly, this session is going by so slow. I've said many times before we've been card dead, but I have yet to see any playable hands thus far. Even now, looking down at 7-4 of spades, probably one of the better starting hands we've seen. We're in the under the gun straddle. The under the gun 1 min clicks it to $20. The hijack calls, the big blind calls, action on us. We're getting an insane price and we don't fold to min clicks, remember? So we throw in $10 more and we go 4 ways to the flop. And it comes pretty good for our hand. We flop a straight flush draw. The big blind checks, we also check in flow. The under the gun 1 C bets $55. The hijack and big blind get out of the way. It's up to us now. And this is our first real chance to put money in the middle. So let's take advantage with a great draw and turn the tide. We check raise to $170. Looking to strap up if he calls, because if we brick out, it's going to be interesting. Not sure what we're going to do, but he's ready for it now. He puts in another raise to $580, basically half our stack. All I'm really thinking right now is this actually might be it. What hands can he have that might fold? I couldn't really think of any, but also brainstorming all the hand possibilities and what equity do we have against those hands. The only one that I can think of that would suck to be against is ace queen of spades. That would be worst case scenario. I mean, if he has aces, kings, we have a shot. I kind of run some numbers in my head, and I think no matter what, we have an insane draw. We have a chance. So other than ace queen of spades, we're doing okay against. So we announce all in, slim chance he folds for $500 more, and that balloon deflates fast when he snap calls and shows top set. Oops. Well, that just happened. I asked once or twice out of courtesy, but here I guess they could only run it once, which, alright, that's the rules. It's once for blood. The turn is no help, but the river... Straight flush. Oh. Wow.
That's not that big, it's so wild.
That's crazy.
I didn't feel you were gonna hit. I didn't feel you were gonna hit. I just really did.
I've been folding for 2 hours, so I was like...
I really felt you
wow. I didn't think you had top set. I was like, maybe ace king or ace queen, but like... Straight flush. I guess any 6 would do, but why not the 6 of spades, giving us our second or maybe even third straight flush captured on the channel. My heart was racing. What a major suck out. I felt bad because we got super lucky, but we got the money in. Not the worst considering a 2-to-1 dog. Like I said, I didn't expect him to have top set. Aces, kings were more of a possibility. It would have been practically a coin flip at that point. If he had ace queen with the ace of spades, it was less than a coin flip. Again, the only hand that we didn't want to see was ace queen of spades, which would have put us worse than a 4-to-1 dog. A lot of cards, a lot of numbers, nerd talk, I know, but that was the breakdown on how we got lucky to win an over $2,000 pot. Whew, needing to calm down after that one, which was pretty easy because back to card death for another 30 minutes or so until we looked down at some suited face cards. The button opens to $15. We just call next to act and the big blind calls $10 more. So we go 3 ways to a flop where we hit probably a little too good king, king, 2 with 2 diamonds. We check in flow as normal. The big blind does as well. The button makes a C bet of $15. I think either decision to raise now or smooth call is okay. We just play it cool though and smooth call, see if the turn is another diamond or not. The big blind gets out of the way, so down to us in the button. The turn is a brick, it's a 7 of clubs. We check again to see if he wants to keep firing. Sadly, he doesn't and checks back. The river is another brick, it's a 6 of hearts. Perfect run out. So how do we get the most value here? Against a more aggressive, capable opponent, might fire big, giving the impression we missed the flush draw and have to bet to win. But pretty straightforward, we check, looking to check raise. So we do check, and thankfully he fires, only for $30 though. Not sure we can get too much more, so we throw out 3 greens, and if he happens to somehow make it more, we know we're behind either ace king or a bow, but he pretty much snap folds, so I think we got the max in that situation, check raising. This one is against the same opponent. We take it down, being aggressive, betting with only ace high. The next one, however, is against a different player. We put on the $10 under the gun straddle. The cutoff basically min clicks it to $25, a hair over a min click. It falls around to us, and our hand's not good enough to make it more out of position, but good enough for that price. So we call $15 more and see one of our cards in the window, followed by 2 smaller cards giving us top pair. Don't do it, man. Don't lead out like a noob. Oh, thank God we check in flow. Action's on him, and he makes a continuation bet to $20. Our hand probably can use some protection here, but like I said in the past, it's hard to get most lower stakes players to let go overpairs. I don't expect an overpair to fold right away to a raise, just saying in general, after more continued aggression, and I don't want to value own myself, so we just call to see what happens. With $100 in the middle, the turn is not good. It's ace of diamonds. Now most of his air on the flop has improved. We check. Depending on the sizing, we can figure out how to proceed, but after some thought, he actually checks back. I kind of have mixed feelings. I figured he'd use this card as a bluff card if he didn't have it. Now I'm thinking he has a pocket pair higher than the 9. That's just trying to get to showdown. So looking to improve. And what do you know? The river has been good to us tonight. It's the 9 of clubs giving us trips. As I mentioned before, I think he has a pocket pair higher than the 9. So if we check, he's just going to check back. We can't let that happen. So we fire out 3 greens, 3/4 pot. He's in the tank now, and you just know when a player is only thinking about folding or calling, so automatically know you won, just depending on now how much. After about 30 seconds of tanking, he calls, we show, and it's the winner. 10s, jacks maybe. I don't think queens, because queens probably makes it more on the flop. It's nice to get some value there on the end. The very next shuffle, we don't have to wait till the river for trips. We flop it. The same guy opens to $15. The small blind calls, and a great price in the big blind for any 2 cards, so we call. And remember I said, don't do it, don't lead out like a noob. I obviously didn't get the hint, because in this hand we lead out for $20. The same player calls, and the small blind folds, so heads up to a turn, and it's the king of hearts. Probably gonna bet till the end. What? I'm even confusing myself right now because we check. Playing this hand super unorthodox, I know. Action's now on him, and he bets out $25. It's a good sight to see him putting money in the middle. Hopefully he connected with the king somehow. Nothing really to do besides call. He's most likely drawing dead. The river is the ace of hearts, bringing the backdoor flush draw. Maybe we got unlucky on the river, so we check, see what he wants to do. And right away he checks back, so no more value for us. That was the last interesting hand of that session, which brings us to the following day. We're at Old Faithful, the Aria. 2-5, $1,500 max. Started around 8:15. Last night in Vegas. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3. 3 dubs on the trip. The first hand we're going to go over, we've been bullied by this player we're facing for the first 40 minutes or so of the session. 3 betting our opens, pretty aggressive player. This hand was no different. We open with 9-8 of diamonds in the hijack. The cutoff cold calls are open. The button, the guy that we mentioned, he 3 bets again, this time to $100. The blinds get out of the way. We make the call. I really like these suited connectors, and the cutoff makes the call as well. Come on, flop. Give us something. I'm tired of not being able to fight back. It comes ace 6-3 rainbow. Not really what we wanted at all. Backdoors, I guess. We check in flow. The cutoff checks as well. The button makes a continuation bet of $100. I'm in the tank thinking we do have backdoors, and if he doesn't have an ace, hands like queens or kings, he's gonna hate life. So we call, looking to improve somehow, or again apply pressure on later streets. The cutoff lets it go, so it's just us and our nemesis. The turn comes no help. It's a blackjack, the jack of clubs. I think a lead here is the best option. If we floated with jacks, we hit, or if we already had a set on the flop, or a hand like ace jack, we would want to bet out. So we do and throw out $175. It's the same sizing I'd use if we had those hands. Action on him, and he does make the call. No actual card will help us, to be honest. So when it comes the brickest of bricks, I guess a few straights get there, but still a brick. We're taking a stand, putting queens and kings into a bind. We bet out again, a healthy sizing, $450, a little more than half pot. And apparently he has a hand because he calls pretty much right away. Ace queen suited. Yeah, wasn't going to get that hand to fold most likely. A bonehead attempt, and soon realized the longer we played together that this opponent probably calls even with kings or queens. So lighting money on fire early in the session. Less than an orbit later, we're in the big blind with king 9 of diamonds. There's a button open to $15. The small blind folds. We call $10 more. Diamonds again seem to not be so good for us last hand. Let's see if that changes this time. We go heads up to a flop, and it comes no diamonds, but we hit top pair with the good kicker. We check in flow to the pre-flop aggressor, and he right away checks back. Come on, lower card to our 9. Oh, even better, it's the king of hearts. Now we have a really good hand, top 2 pair. We can't let it check through again, have to start building this pot. So we lead out $20, action on the button, and he disagrees with that amount. He raises to 70. I wasn't expecting that. I doubt a set of kings does this, plus only one combination of that. Would he also check a set on the flop? Maybe 8s or 5s, still unlikely. I think this can just be top pair, top kicker type of hand. So let's get more money in the middle now while we think we're ahead. We raise it and make it more, $200 to go. Action on him, and he goes into the tank. We only have $400 left in our stack. If he calls, this will set up a great river jam, unless we get counterfeited, which would suck. He does end up making the call for $130 more. So fingers crossed, come on river, be good to us. The poker gods answer and give us what we wanted. It's a brick. All right, sticking with the plan. If he happens to have one of those sets, then we're gonna get snapped off. But we'll know in 3, 2, 1. All right, we avoid the snap. But he does call pretty quickly, which now I'm not 100% sure we have the winner. We say we have 2 pair. He asks which ones, and in my head, we have the best ones, so we win. He shows the second best 2 pair. Man, what a turn card for both our hands and for us to get the max and double up. We needed that. Was going to be down $1,500 quick, but instead, now only down a couple hundred. But let's keep going to get out of this huge hole. A long wait goes by to this next hand. We still manage to stay afloat with the lack of hands we get involved in, just taking some down with aggression, position, and based on board textures. Having blockers and knowing ranges are great to learn. It's not always the most interesting to watch, but small things to know and understand that can really help in any poker session. But moving on, after all those small, boring hands, this one makes up for the wait. We look down at the best starting hand in poker, pocket aces. We're first acting out of the gun. We open to a standard $20. It folds to the button, he calls, and the big blind comes along. So we go 3 ways to a flop, and it comes queen 3-3 with 2 diamonds. Probably one of the best boards we can ask for, other than it coming with 2 diamonds. A rainbow board would have been better, but can't have it all. The big blind checks in flow, and there's no reason to not c-bet, so we do and throw out half pot. The button makes the call, and the big blind folds, so we're heads up. Only thing we don't want to see is another diamond. The turn is the 9 of clubs. Perfect. Let's keep charging those flush draws. We throw out $75 this time. Action's on him. He thinks about it for a little bit and does end up calling. And I gotta be real, I was thinking no diamond at first, but now I'm like, wouldn't it be sick if the ace of diamonds were to fall now on the river? It doesn't always work, but sometimes it just works out when you pray to the poker gods for certain cards.
Aria, remain positive. Summon the cards you desire.
Get a higher power from above. Come on!
And it does work because the ace of diamonds comes. All right, we have the second nuts for all you strict watchers out there. I would say, yeah, we have the nuts, but then there'd be somebody in the comments saying, no, pocket threes is the nuts. Oh my God, you guys are too much. All right, focus. We're first to act and there's $270 in the middle. It's the hardest thing, wanting to go for it all, but then kicking yourself at the end when you don't get any value. So wanting to get some value, we bet out $200. If he doesn't have the nut diamond, I don't know if we can get much more. Also, I think a check raise wouldn't get much more value. For one, the non-nut diamond lets it go with a check raise. And I think even the nut diamond, this player was smart enough to throw that hand away. Because really, I'm only saying I have pocket aces or pocket queens with that play. I know some of you guys like deeper analysis, so that's what was going through my head at the time. Short version, I want value. Action's on him. He's still in the tank, and he tanks for a full minute, going back and forth, but finally puts in the chips for a call. Obviously, we win. And after gathering the chips, he did say he had the nut diamonds, so kinda kicking myself we didn't bet a little bit more. Oh well, knowing where we were in the hand is still a pretty good feeling. The very next shuffle, the $10 under the gun straddle is on. There's 3 limpers, the small blind calls. We look down at ace-5 offsuit. Suited version would have been a good candidate to squeeze, but we just called this time for $5 more, hoping the under the gun checks his option, which he does. So going a lot of ways to a flop, and bingo, we hit trips. The small blind checks, action's on us, and this board can get really bad for our hand in a hurry. If all these players are still in, we're not going to want to see any more cards. So we lead out $20, trying to thin the field. The low jack calls, it folds to the small blind, who is an aggressive player. She was saying her husband plays higher stakes, like 10-20 and up, so I'm sure that kind of trickles down to her play. She raises to $90. I have to look back at my cards to see what I have. We have a 5, no spade, it's a club, but folding is out of the question. And I think with this player type, we're going to let her keep bluffing if she is bluffing. And hey, maybe even hit the ace of spades to get another double up. So we just smooth call. The low jack has seen enough. He folds. Off to a turn. Please, red card. And yes, it's a red 8. She's first to act, and she doesn't slow down. She fires out $120 into the middle. If it was more of a brick, like a red jack perhaps, I'd think about raising this, but some straights get there, so we just call, hoping she fires again on the river. The river comes, and it's red again, so no flush, but now any 6 makes a straight, which is a possibility, because she did limp the small blind. As did I limp the big blind, so blind versus blind, we can both have a 6 in our hand, but when she checks, seems like giving up to me. So now how much do we make it? Because the most likely scenario, we have the winner. And if she happens to raise, we'll just cross that bridge if it comes. So we bet out $150, looking to get called by maybe a 9 or an 8. I don't know, honestly. It was wishful thinking because she realizes she's beat and smartly lets it go. So we take down another back-to-back. That was really the last interesting hand of that session. and we crawl back out of the early hole we dug ourselves in and go 3 for 3 on the weekend. A weekend at Vegas, winning a little over $2,000. If you guys watched this one and the last vlog from this week, I really appreciate it. All the support, it helps the channel tremendously, helps it grow, and allows me to plan more trips out here to come play and get more content. That's it for this one. Good luck on the felt. Good luck in life in general. A friendly reminder, I encourage each and every one of you to get up, get some sort of physical activity in today. And as always, I'm Matty Ice. This is Gaines Poker. Peace out.